ask questions, and that you feel easy. And that's also the idea of the dance. It makes us relax and ease. It's nice also to be barefoot in this way, so it makes things easier. So how I'm going to do the evening is I've got some video clips, some very insightful clips about breakthroughs in science and about how our mind works, how our body-mind works, ultimately our emotions fit in with that, and that we have the power to change our behavior, the science behind it. So I'll show various video clips and then tell some stories of my own insights in my life that I've had, the lessons I've got taken through. Share that with you, and then also share a bit about the healing insights that I have, the people that have been important, people that I draw from.
You have an issue with the video machine?
With the video machine?
This thing.
So we can watch it on the laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, so it's just, okay, it's on its way, I'm sure. Let's just get it out. It needs a few minutes. So it does look like, I think it seems all of you are familiar with energy healing and energy. So you've come to me, and Liz, what you've shared is what you've Louise is it, Jane as well. But it's true, if we can get to the video, it gives us deeper insight, deeper motivation to start trusting and investing more in that.
Maybe you'll have to do it without the video.
So it's not finding the video. Once you're going through that setup, it's not finding it. Okay. So let's just go with the laptop. Just try it.
Yeah, just give me one.
Let's just be patient. I'll start with a story. One of the most wonderful times in my life where I had deeper insights, deeper spiritual insights, deeper insights into my journey was when I went to Warragul in India in 2010. Jane, I go back.
Not when Amanda's coming back. She's not working.
The best
Yes.
is going to be.
No, but she needs to, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to turn this around and just watch that.
We watched that. It's not fun.
It's perfectly like
Yeah, it's no problem to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can come closer. So what we're watching now is the new premises in science versus the old ones. And most of us, how old are you this? 29, 27. So I guess, but you still in our schooling system, we still grew up with the old premises. Still the Newtonian science that kind of directed things. And this Dr. Bruce Lipton, he's a leading biologist in epigenetics. And he's going to talk about the latest findings in biology. And now it doesn't want to come back. I wonder if you should show the video on my laptop. And we had, you know, we had other movie nights here, and everything worked, everything went fine.
Why did it just restart?
But it's Mercury retrograde. And that's maybe what we did. Did we switch off the projector?
Was Mercury retrograde?
Generally, when Mercury goes retrograde, so Mercury was moving forward into Scorpio, and now it started moving back into Libra in terms of the position, the relative position. When that happens, it's like driving, starting reversing your car, only looking in the rearview mirror. Hello, I'll open for you. There's a chair for you. Joe, we had a little dance to get our body mind active, to get that into the talk as well. But now our technology doesn't work, and we're saying that it's Mercury retrograde. That causes this work. So, this video that we're going to look at, maybe you come this way, then you closer. I'm showing a video of Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's one of the world's leading biologists in epigenetics. And epigenetics means the influence of the environment on our genes. And he's talking about the breakthrough findings in science and how that has changed. Oh, Jane, yeah, thanks. The position change. You want to switch this over?
Okay, I'm ready.
Later, but we'll try and finish this because this is, as Doug said, this is the relevant part, because once we understand how the machine works, now let's talk about how the machine is programmed to work, and this becomes more relevant for us. And I said there are several things I'm going to talk about. The first one I want to talk about is what I call assumption number one, and that is the one that says biological processes employing Newtonian physics. And we talked about that, and what we said is that Newtonian mechanisms are based on the universe being a matter machine, so that all you have to study is the matter. That it's a complex machine that if you take it apart and study the pieces, and then you can understand how the complex machine works by looking at all the individual pieces. And then by us being able to do that, you should be able to create new pieces and control the expression of the machine. Remember, that was the mission statement of science, to control and dominate nature. Well, that means the ability to understand how the machine works and then replace the parts. Well, the issue about that is revealed in this article, which was in Science. This is a mainstream journal, conventional biomedical journal, and I'll read it for you in case you can't see it. It says, but perhaps the biggest challenge to reductionism, the concept of taking it apart and looking at it, it says, but perhaps the biggest challenge to reductionism comes from the concept of information. Remember, information are signals, okay? The signals that control. And here's what I'm going to emphasize it now. It says, in biology, information is carried and received by molecules, which is fully consistent with the reductionist principles of physics and chemistry. The point it says is this, that in biology, information is only in the molecules. If it's only in the molecules, then to adjust your body, I provide you with new molecules, and there, of course, is the foundation of the pharmaceutical industry to make new molecules to adjust your body. But the issue is information only carried in molecules? Well, in old-fashioned Newtonian physics it is, but not in our new physics. The old Newtonian mechanism said the universe was made out of matter. It's just like a machine. But in 1925, we reestablished a new view of how the universe works. And it says this, that in quantum mechanics, the universe is actually made out of energy. What you look at as physical matter, at the very atomic structure, doesn't physically exist. That the atoms are not real physical at all. Even though I can show you an electron micrograph of atoms, they're pairs of atoms where the arrows are indicating right there. Here's an interesting truth. If I take a camera and start to get closer and closer and closer to that atom, that actually I can go all the way through the atom from one side to the other side and not see anything. The closer you get to the atom, the less you see. And the reason is this, that the atom is not physical, the atom is a vortex of energy. So inside the atom is nothing real structural. So we're familiar with the atom on the left, the Newtonian atom. All of us saw it, marbles, ball bearings going around like solar systems and all that. But here's the atom of today, the quantum atom. And it's not missing, it's actually there. But the issue is, a quantum atom has no physical structure to it. But the energy behaves as matter in an atom. But so the point about it is this. The world of medicine is based on Newtonian mechanics. It's based on materialism. But in quantum mechanics, it says matter isn't the end point, energy is the end point. According to quantum physics, you can never understand the universe if you don't incorporate the role of energy in the process, because energy shapes matter. Number two, the concept of reductionism. Sure, I can study atoms and how they connect to each other and look at that as physical atoms, but the point is, atoms are not like marbles. Here's the edge of this marble, here's the edge of that marble. I can say this marble is separated from this marble, but the reality is this, they're energy. There are no edges to them. So this atom and this atom are always touching and entangled with each other. The atoms that are in your body are energy waves that are involved with the energy all around you as well. You cannot get out of the energy field. There is no way to study an individual without studying the energy. So the concept of reductionism gives way to this new understanding which biology is beginning to adjust to. It's called holism. It says everything is entangled. I can't just look at one little part and say that part is wrong, because that part is connected to all the other parts. So the bottom line is this, we're pulling back, rather than looking at reductionism, we're pulling back and looking at holism. How your health is not just a matter of the physical structure in here. How your health is related to the environment and how you fit into the environment. So the doctor or a practitioner, much concerned about how actions in your family dynamics, community dynamics, work dynamics, because all of those are contributing to the functional structure of your own body. So the fact is, looking at little things and blaming little points has been an error, because we now recognize that reductionism is not their way of seeing science, it's holism. And then,
okay. So, Joel, maybe if I can ask you to sit that side, it will make it easier. And then Jane, I need you with the camera. Thanks, Joel. Okay. So, anything there that you'd like to comment on or that stood out for you there? Yeah, it's just so much of our view. I think basically our daily way that we look at our, we see ourselves as separate. We see ourselves as body. Yeah, we that's the big one. So let's leave that. Let's get around to that further down the talk. So I just want to now share some of my insights that happened when I went to Oroville. Oroville is a community in India and on the east coast of India. And there's 2,000 people that live there, that are still living there, and 2,000 people come in to work there. And it was set up in the 1950s by Sri Aurobindo, and his partner was called the Mother. She's a French lady. It wasn't his wife, but they worked together spiritually. But he had visions about that the earth, that we would need a people living together in community, cooperating, working together in a different way from what life was like in the 40s and 50s. And that's why Oroville was started. So that's why I wanted to go there. But my journey didn't start there when I went to India. I landed in India at close to Puttaparthi, and that's the ashram where Sai Baba was. Now my friend was a follower of Sai Baba, and so I went along with the whole journey that, okay, first explore the ashram at Sai Baba, and it's a huge ashram, 5,000 people can stay there. Now on Christmas Day, sometimes there's about 100,000 people within the compound, in the whole temple environment that go there. And yeah, I once heard all these stories of miraculous healings, and this ash that comes from his hands, and so I wanted to go see that. But at that time, that was 2010, he was already in a wheelchair. So Liz, you sound like have you been?
No.
Okay.
Longing.
Joel,
So,
you wanted to go. Joel, have you been to Sai Baba's ashram?
I've been to Sai Baba.
Okay. You went.
I was in India because he passed away, right?
Yes.
I was in India
When he passed away, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's right.
When did he die?
Cancer from cell phones. He said, just before he died, he said, be careful of cell phones. So, well, that's, he seemed to think that was a major contribution. We'll get to that. Bruce Lipton touched us on that in the next little clip. So anyway, I went there, and even before I went, I was in Durban with friends of mine, and I had this vision of the sun, and out of the sun came Sai Baba walking towards me and inviting me. And I thought, I'll have insights there, things are going to happen for me when I go to the ashram, because I had this vision. It's like an invitation. But the strangest thing was, when I got to the ashram, I didn't like it at all. I couldn't connect with the chanting that they were doing. It was a devotional way, which wasn't, I was more already on the path of non-dualism and self-inquiry. And it was hot, and I got, and then they had these people there that direct you when you're walking in the paths and through their temple. It's quite spread out. Then they had their blue uniforms, but they were like soldiers. They were really harsh and very and rough. So if I'm walking that way, then I'd shout, "No, you can't go there," and very in my face. And I felt, well, what does that got to do with spirituality? I don't want to be here. Anyway, but already there, when I was there, I started seeing images of Ramana Maharshi. He was a big teacher of non-duality, of Advaita in India, and he lived at close to Oroville, is the place where he had his ashram. But I saw his image, and then he'd say, "Come to the ocean, come to the ocean." But then after Oroville, went to Mysore first, and then went to another guru. Oh, and first I need to say, Sai Baba, at one point he passed not far from me, just 10 meters when he came in. And I thought I'd feel something, but something didn't happen. Whereas other people have had that when they was that close, something tended to happen for them. So I just realized, okay, this is not for me. But there was kind of a judgment starting in my